it's SIREN from Untitled, and today I will be showing you not only how I achieved this look, but more importantly, we were doing a bit of a brush review. So I'm looking at Spectrum SIREN brushes.
This is the SIREN brush set, and you get this very beautiful case. It has a sort of like a crocodile print or a snakeskin print, and of course it's faux because it's iridescent, and it has this really cute little shell just here. I really love that it's like kind of like a mermaid theme. And then of course you have like Spectrum brushes just written here, which is a very nice detail, and it's magnetized, so you can see. Just open it, and those are the brushes there, and they come in this really nice faux leather case. There's all individual elastic slots for the brushes, so you can see it's nice and sturdy. Your brushes aren't going to come out. It's really nice quality actually. So let's take a look at the brushes individually. With the Spectrum SIREN collection of brushes, you can see that it has the green and black fiber synthetic bristles, a very beautiful oil slick on the barrel, black handle, and gold embossed writing. This says Spectrum and the brush knower.
And I'm now going to switch to me wearing nothing. It will be completely barefaced, so starting from the beginning. I don't know why suddenly I'm French, and I don't know what that was, but anyway, let's cut the accents. I'm just going to apply a primer before we begin.
And I'll be using Tarte Clean Slate Poreless Primer. The first brush I'll be using is this flat top foundation brush. This is brush B01, and I'll be using that to apply my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Pearl.
And I'm just going to use the brush in circular motions. It's very soft. It seems to be blending it out pretty evenly. I do feel like it soaked up a lot of the foundation though. This is definitely more than I would normally use. There wasn't any shedding with that brush, and that's totally a plus. This is off to a really great start because I usually have a lot of shedding with my foundation brushes that I use.
Next I'm applying my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Fair, and I'll be placing that in a V underneath my eyes. To blend in that concealer, I'll be using this small flat top brush, which is B03.
And it seems to be blending the concealer in quite nicely. Just gonna do some spot concealing because unfortunately I have a couple of face demons. This brush is doing a very good job, very satisfactory. So I was very happy with that brush. That did an excellent job. My skin isn't in the greatest condition this week. Unfortunately, this time it's working out especially badly. Next, I'm going to do some contouring.
And I felt like the most obvious choice was this short, flat, dense brush. This is brush C02. And I'll be using that to apply my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in Fair, and I'll be using the shade Fawn.
So I don't know if you can see, it's actually quite a wide brush. Like, it's pretty dense. I'm just gonna pack the color just like on the very edge and make sure it's facing down. It ended up being a bit low. Yeah, I might actually use this brush facing this way but on the other side. So instead I'm just gonna dip the very end of the brush in. Yeah, that definitely, I feel like it worked better. It definitely had more control over the brush. A more blended application on this side. Along the jawline, I'm going to use the corner technique, see, on the corner there, and then flip it.
Using the smaller angled face brush, brush A05, I wanted to test out how it would fare with cream products. I'm using the Tarte's Kiss and Blush palette using the shade Butterfly.
Being that they're synthetic, I do feel that they are applying the cream products very well, so that's really good. We'll be able to see a bit later how they're going to apply with dry products. So I'm just going to apply a cream highlight.
And I'll be using this small angled eyeshadow brush. This is B04, and I'll be applying Cloud 9 from that same palette.
this is a great little detail brush. Like I'm sure you could definitely just use this for eyeshadow. These little highlighty points, I feel like this is a really great brush. So because I want to keep the angled brush for liner, I have two options as far as cleaning up brows. That little angled brush we use with highlight and the lip brush. So I think if you are a person that wears lots of liquid lipsticks, go for the lip brush option. If you like to use lip brushes for applying lipstick, then maybe go like the angled brush route. This is a little not as precise, I would say. So me personally, I'm gonna go with the lip brush.
So as I've just mentioned, I'll be using the lip brush, and that's brush A15, and I'll be using my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Fair.
And I'm just going to clean up my brows. So I feel like that does the job quite nicely. Next, I'm just going to powder.
And so of course I'll be using the powder brush to set my face. This is brush A01. I'm using the Tarte's Contour Palette using the yellow correcting shade to set my under eye area. Using that same powder brush A01 to set the rest of my face, and I'll be using the highlight shade from that same palette.
Just gonna leave the face for now. We can come back to that. Just gonna prime my eyes.
Next I'll be using my Kat Von D Lock-It eyeshadow base in the shade Fair, and you may recall last time I had some issues with blending. To correct that, I'm going to use a small angled eyeshadow brush B04.
And I'm just going to use that brush again just because I want you to see that these brushes don't just have what I'm suggesting to you, that you can use these brushes anywhere that you want.
To apply the first eyeshadow, I'll be using this large flat round packing brush. This is A06 and the featured product, which is the Kat Von D Matte and Metal palette. I'll be starting with the shade Bone.
And I'm just going to pack this all on the lid. This is a really good shape brush. Applies a decent amount of eyeshadow.
To create some dimension, I'll be taking this fluffy blending brush B06 and I'll be taking the shade Suede.
And I'm just going to take this as my transition shade through the crease. This brush is incredibly soft and I feel like it's blending very well.
Taking that same fluffy blending brush B06 and the shade Oak, I'm just going to deepen the crease. Taking this pencil brush slash detail brush A12 and the shade Velvet.
And I'm just placing this on the outer corner, a little bit in the crease. This is a very nice brush. This feels really soft. It's placing down the color really well actually. I'm really impressed with these brushes so far. So I'm just going to take that fluffy brush again and blend that out. This is looking pretty good so far.
Using that flat packing brush A06 again, I'm going to take the shade Silk over the mobile lid.
And I'm just going to blend the two together. I'm really impressed. These are doing a really great job of blending. These are exceeding my expectations, which is just awesome. They're not exactly the cheapest, so trickiness of picking a color out using this brush. I can pack on some metal shades, and I'm thinking about Vault and then a little bit of Twinkle. Just packing Vault on the mobile lid, just on like the outer side of it. Now packing Twinkle on the inner half of the mobile lid. Wow, these are beautiful shades. This is a really beautiful palette, side note. So I just want to blend those two together. I might just take a little bit more Vault. I hope you guys are liking this because I really am.
Taking that round flat packing brush A06 and the shade Linen, and I'm going to pack that on the brow bone.
Taking that on the inner corner. That white is really white. Before we use gel liner, I want to do a bit of lining along the bottom of my lower lash line.
So as I said, I'm taking that small angled brush, that's A17 and the shade Jet, which is black, and taking that on the lower lash line.
I'm just going to take it about a third of the way out.
Taking that same angled brush A17, and I'm going to take the shade Moss along the lower lash line. Using that same brush and the shade Mist, take that over the area that we've just laid colour down, just to really make that pop. Taking that same angled brush and the shade Ignite, this was great for precision work, just placing that shade on the inner third of the lower lash line.
I think we can move on to gel liner. So I'm sorry if the lighting has changed and this mirror is a little bit intrusive, but I really want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing with the brush to see how it applies.
So I'm finally using that angled liner brush A17 with my gel liner, and I'll be using Anastasia Beverly Hills waterproof colour in the shade Jet, and I'll just be lining my eyes as normally.
So far so good. So it's a little flexible, a little more flexible than I'm used to. It is quite short as far as the width, but it's quite long in comparison, because like especially in the inner corner you can see it had like a little bit less control. So we'll have a look at the way it applies for the rest of this eye. So I'm pretty happy with the way that the wing turned out bar the inner corner. I think that just takes a little bit more refining. I'll see how I go on the other eye and we'll come back and compare them and I can let you know what I think. So this wing turned out much better than this one. I mean, this one was super nice except for the inner corner. This one turned out just as good, except with the inner corner I just sort of lifted it a little bit just to really get in there and be more precise. It's a matter of being more careful. I'm just going to chuck on a coat of mascara and my lashes.
I'll be applying my Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara, my velour lashes in Complete Me, and I'll be applying those with my velour lash stick adhesive.
Okay, lashes are on.
So that means that we can keep going. I'll be taking the smaller of those two angled face brushes, A05, and the Tarte's Contour Palette, taking Contour Shade 3, which is the lighter of the two, and I'll be contouring as per usual. Taking that same brush and the deeper shade, Contour Shade 4 of the Tarte's Contour Palette.
So I'm just going to deepen that contour. And get a little more warmth.
Taking that small angled eyeshadow brush B04 and the illuminating shade from the Tarte's Contour Palette.
Just gonna do a highlight and then place my blush over the top. I'm just going to take that inner highlight a little further in and a little heavier than I normally would, just to cover up the little area that I mucked up.
Using the larger angled face brush C04, and I'm going to be using the accentuating shade 5 from the Tarte's Contour Palette.
Focusing on the back half of my cheek, because that's where I prefer to put it. I feel I should use the lip brush as a lip brush. So I'll just grab a lipstick and give the lip brush a go. I'm going to be lining my lips with Urban Decay's Gwen Stefani Ex-Girlfriend Lip Liner. So this seems to be an emerging trend for my videos. The blush shade of my Tartist contour palette just fell out as I was trying to use the mirror to line my lips. Awesome.
So I'll be using that lip brush A15 to apply a deluxe sample shade Naked from the Urban Decay lipstick collection.
Same thought as with the eyeliner brush. It's just a little too long and a little too thin, so it either needs to be, no, I don't want it wider, probably just a little bit shorter, but we'll keep going and I'll tell you what I think at the end. So that completes the final look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial side of this video and you found that at least helpful, even if you don't plan on buying these brushes. But I have to say, these brushes, man, they really are value for money. It is really hard to find brush sets where you like all the brushes, and you know, there are a couple of brushes in this set that I would probably prefer to be slightly different, or a few other brushes included. It is $152.42 Australian. Spectrum is a UK based company, but I gotta say, I mean, the quality of these brushes are just absolutely divine. The bristles are so soft. They were really easy to clean even between color uses. They blended so beautifully. They packed the color on really well. I just can't. The whole reason I bought these damn things was just the oil slick ferrule alone is just so beautiful. I really just wanted to invest in some really fun brushes that were reputable. I mean, Spectrum, I don't think they've been around for that long, but they're just like, they have the most amazing design. I mean, come on, like, honestly, how freaking beautiful are these? I love the case that it comes in. It didn't take too long to arrive. I did order it on sale. I can't remember how much of a discount I got. I will link the brushes down below, and I'll also include how much of a discount I got from Black Friday, because I honestly can't remember. It was so bloody long ago. If you guys are interested in seeing how I did my hair, I will link that down below. Link down below my haul where I bought majority of the products that I use today. Literally almost everything except for 4 or 5 products did I buy in that haul. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions, please comment down below. Also, you can like me on Facebook, Instagram and Snapchat to stay up to date with all of my activities and all the things that are coming out on my channel. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button down below. Everybody's been saying hit the bell so you can get the notifications, so please hit the bell so you can get the notifications. I would like to expand my Lux family and come be my friend. Let's hang out and talk about makeup, and I'm going to be introducing some new segments, some really fun things that are a little bit not makeup related, but are things that I really like booze. This was Lovely Deluxe, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.